tell me if you know what this means just offhand. You ever see when the military members get served steak and lobster? You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's a saying that if military, when they get served steak and lobster, they're getting ready to go to war. That's like a last meal.
Really?
So it's been seeing this thing on TikTok about military members getting served steak and lobster. I'm gonna play this.
I ain't never heard of that.
Yep, steak and lobster.
When? Since when?
That's considered a last meal, and I pulled it up on ChatGPT. It said it's either a celebration or it's a wartime last meal.
Oh, not the last meal. Ooh, and they got Dr. Peppers.
Has steak and lobster. How's your steak and lobster? All right, damn near decent. How's yours? I'm ready for war. We're going to war. I might have to double it. I had to run it back.
The Army automatically takes out $450 a month out of my paycheck so I can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here is what I got for the Army's birthday. Ta-da! Steak, Capri salad, asparagus underneath, garlic bread that I already bit into, lobster, hush puppies, a baked potato under this. Steak. That's pretty good. Capri salad. So good. Asparagus. Okay. Baked potato. Let's try. The Army automatically takes
So this girl, she made it. We're gonna circle back to this clip, but there's another clip in here. So remember this clip.
So much. I like a little.
Steak and lobster. You know what that means? We are going to war. To war we are going. I'm gonna eat good now.
So much.
That's creepy.
He sounded like a little zesty. Somebody said, very optimistic. Thank you for your service. R.I.P.
That's low down.
That's raw.
That's
raw.
low down.
That's raw.
Have y'all seen the video of this girl? She's like brand new to the Army.
Look at that face.
And she's like, I just wanted to show you what the Army feeds us. And she opens up this box and it's got steak and lobster and desserts. A full to-go box full of extravagant food. She's like, wow, the Army's not that bad.
It's pink on the
And the
inside.
comments are like, oh no, we're cooked. They said, baby, you're about to deploy. And she's like, what? What do you mean? Baby, the Army is not giving you steak and lobster on a random weekday. I'm talking about some, wow, why don't I join sooner? They treat us so well, steak and lobster, y'all should join. Baby, there's a war behind you. You about to go, you about to be sent off. And she's replying to all the comments, she's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Somebody was like, baby, I'm a civilian, and I know that's not good. She over there just chowing down.
Oh,
so
that's
delicious, so delicious.
It rained on her parade.
I know for a fact. An hour later.
Based on how she was crying, her parade was rained on, and she realized
that was not the case, I guess.
She opens up TikTok to have this thing flooded with comments. She went from peacefully enjoying steak and lobster for lunch to pissing herself.
And look at that face. I said we're getting deployed with this, not with the Squidward.
Did you guys know that on June the 18th, 2025, the Army was served steak and lobster? And do you know what that means? Well, one or two things. Usually it's the Last Supper before they go to war. But they claim it was because of the Army's 250th birthday celebration that they had. And of course, Donald Trump's birthday and everything. But guys, it is so crazy. While we see the viral TikTok video on TikTok showing that on June the 18th, the soldiers were enjoying their surfing their turf spread, steak and lobster, salad, asparagus, hush puppies, baked potatoes, shrimp cocktails, fruit salads, garlic bread, cake, and pecan pie. Now, people will tell you this is not the typical thing that you eat.
Obviously.
In the military.
No, look at it. It looks so delicious. Maybe it was the Army's birthday.
Well, if it was just because of the Army's 250th
I think it's both.
birthday, and of course Donald Trump's birthday, then maybe we could say perhaps. But how many years have they served that on the Army's birthday?
Exactly. That's what I was
want to
thinking.
know if you're in the Army, tell me. Number 2, isn't it funny how all of this happened around the time that Iran and Israel decides to go back and forth?
It's not a
with the
coincidence.
things
I don't
in
believe
the
it's coincidence.
sky? What's going on? Why did they really eat the lobster and steak? Should we be concerned for our loved ones, our friends, our fellow military? What's going on, guys? Is this biblical prophecy prophesying? Let me know in the comment section what you think. Was the military just being extra nice and special? Because of course, that wouldn't be waste or fraud, would it? Or did they really eat that nice meal for a reason? As in the Last Supper for now until they come back. Hopefully, they all come back.
So what I think that was both. I'll be honest with you. I think that it was the birthday. I mean, it was the celebration. Seriously, that was because it was Trump birthdays. Because I've never heard them say I've never heard them say, well, let's do a extravagant meal on a president's birthday. I don't think it's that. I think that the 250-year celebration of the Army, plus potentially being able to go to war. But it was the Army's birthday. It was 250 years of the Army's birthday. But I wonder, at 200 years, did they celebrate that time at the Army's birthday? Why 250? You know what I'm saying? That's like, I can see 300 and 200. And the other thing is,
They don't celebrate the Army's birthday every year?
I don't know.
Don't the Army have a birthday every year?
Baby, you're so cute. Thank you. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying.
But the problem is, I mean, not every, and then also just because a person in the military, just because they're in the service, just because they're armed don't mean they're going to war. Depending on what your MOS is, depending on what your job is, will determine if you're going to war. Not everybody's going. But now if you have a particular job that's on the lower end or infantry style field job, you going to
Technology,
war. But
maybe.
those people pick those roles. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
You thinking just because somebody got a green uniform, everybody going in? No. They could bring in somebody, a draft person that will go to war before a person that already has a particular job where they serve on a technical role. They're not going to war.
Right.
But I do feel like this might be an opportunity for them to celebrate, do the birthday, and let you know that, hey, we about to go in. This is the third war. None of us have been alive to see a world war. Mm-hmm. This seems very World War stylish.
Mm-hmm.
Steak and lobster means one thing. It's about to go down. And just like Joshua before Jericho, we're going in strong and courageous. Steak and lobster means one thing.
Did somebody say this AI?
Lobster means one thing.
Somebody say this AI.
To go down. And just like Joshua before
The
Jericho,
music, you don't worry about the copyright for this music?
Maybe so. I'm gonna clip out stuff.
You're going to have to. Because you don't get dinged.
Yeah, I'm gonna clear it out. What kind of airplane is that? AI, I tell you.
Well, maybe that's not the case.
So there's videos going viral of the U.S. military being served steak and lobster all over social media. If you're familiar with the military, you know about the steak and lobster. Are we about to be in the middle of a conflict? Take a look at this. Lobster and steak, look. I wasn't in the military, but I'm going by what people in the military in my family have told me. Let's take a look at what it means. Take a look right here from Google. You are correct in that serving lobster and often steak, creating surf and turf to U.S. troops, especially during deployments, is a known morale booster. As I said in my previous video regarding the conflicts in the Middle East and all the bad stuff that's going on all over the place, I had a feeling that things were going to take a dark and twisted turn in the coming days. I am definitely hoping for all of the military that this meal was of and for appreciation for their service. I mean, the Army just celebrated its birthday. They helped out in the wars. They helped out with the protests. They helped out with the rallies. I'm hoping and praying that this is what that was for, and it has nothing to do with a conflict and their involvement. Pray for our troops, pray for our country, and pray for peace. That's all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
So look at the comments. As a vet, 1,000% getting deployed and likely in a combat zone. And this lady said, I remember this meal when I was deployed right after 9/11. God bless our troops. Dying for Israel is crazy. Last meal vibes. War is when young people don't know each other and don't hate each other, kill each other by decisions of other people who know each other and hate each other, but don't kill each other.
What?
Let me read that again. War is when young people who don't know each other and don't hate each other kill each other by the decisions of old people who know each other and hate each other, but don't kill each other. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's something you copy and paste that one.
Yeah.
My husband served 21 years, 5 deployments later. All I can say is I'm going to serve my man steak and lobster at home tonight, and thank God he doesn't have to deal with this cause he just retired last month. That's heavy.
Wow.
But yeah, it just keep going on to talking about. But this has been a viral thing. It's been super viral.
I never knew this.
Yeah.
Never heard this, never knew this. And wow. So if that's the case, then, but you have a birthday every year. So why is the Army just now having a birthday? Every year you have a birthday.
No.
I'm just saying.
What's more celebratory? Your mama's 38th birthday or her 50th?
Well, yeah, I get it.
Her 50th or her 80th?
I was just trying to say that maybe they could have got that meal last year with hopes that they weren't about to be deployed.
When your grandmother hit 100 years old, when she was 97,
with
did y'all celebrate 97 like y'all celebrate 100?
With hopes that they weren't about to go to war. That's what I was hoping. Oh, man. Well, I mean, we see what's going on. And that's what somebody has put in the comments section. He was like, Trump is telling people to evacuate Tehran, or however you pronounce it. Then he said it makes sense. It goes with it.
But I feel like, I just promise you, Joel, we are in such the end times. Look how we just did. Look at the people acting up on planes. Look at the people that just act up around in mass events.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Rumors of war.
People are unaliving themselves and others on live streams. It's crazy. Crazy.
We're on the I'll listen to a guy, man. He said we're on the seventh horse of the seventh horse of not the seventh. We're on one of the horses of the apocalypse, and there are multiple horses. You know, y'all know biblically about who brought in the end times, and this one's the wartime. World War III. I don't believe that we're going to see another war after 3. Not us living. I believe this will be the end. This is going to be the end. This is the last war for mankind in this country.
Yeah.
Mankind, period. I'm sorry, not this country, in this mankind. And when it kicks off, things are moving, starting suddenly, and people not really paying attention. But they are happening subtly in these other countries. They're moving quickly, but you don't see it, and if you're not dialed in, you're not seeing that stuff is dropping daily. And when America really gets involved, on the Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz conversation, he actively said that America is helping Israel right now. And Tucker said, wait, that's breaking news. What you mean? He was like, oh yeah, I mean, what did he say? He said, we're supporting them. He said, wait, that's not what you said. See, Ted Cruz, if y'all go look at the interview, we need to go look at the interview. Ted Cruz was telling the truth about stuff that he probably shouldn't have been, but he got in his emotions and spread out and said what was really happening on a couple of incidents. Mm-hmm. Just like he said that Iran had been trying to unalive Trump multiple times. And he was like, the guy that tried to shoot him on the roof, was that? He was like, no, it's nothing. He was like, it's nothing. That was nothing. He was like, they need to do it. We don't go after them after Iran called war because they ain't hit them. He was like, wait, so you saying because he didn't do it, they're not accurate? That's why y'all not already taking out Iran? So it's a lot at play here that I believe that's going on that we don't understand.
And this is, I didn't know.
Cruz
The last one I saw was
it's really good.
Bannon and Tucker.
No, watch the Tucker and Ted Cruz interview. That was a really good interview.
Okay.
But it looks like we're going to see, y'all. If war kicks off with America, that wasn't just a fancy dinner for 250 years.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money they spent for that?
I know.
Steak and lobster?
Yeah. Yep. Well,
when I was young, before we start dating, you get a woman steak and lobster, you want something. They want something.
Help him. Well, I mean, it just makes me sad because, to know that that's what happened. And now, it's a likelihood of many of them are about to be deployed, But hey, what can you say? What can you say?
And don't let this, if you got a child or somebody going to the military, don't let this stop them going to service. Because just because you go into World War does not mean all your people go into fight. That does not how World War work. They can't go in and just send everybody to go in and dummy missions and possibly get killed. What military will have? People have to man stations to do things. The key is when your child goes in, make sure they score high on their ASVAB so they can pick a job that doesn't require that. The lower the score on the ASVAB, the lower options you have to pick from jobs. And some of those jobs might require you be in the field. The higher you get, the more farther away you could pick a job that's an office job, a technical job.
Wow.
So, make sure tell your child, just make sure they do good on the ASVAB. That's the key. We're going to service. I still would say go to the service. War or not, don't let people scare you with that. And they are going to initiate a draft. That'll be worse for the people that get drafted than the people that's already in there.
Yeah.
All right,
great people. We love you guys. We sure appreciate you. We really, really do. Don't forget to give us some comments. Let y'all know what y'all think about this situation right here.
All right, y'all.
See you on the next one.